Hello YouTubers, welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm your host, the Board Game Captain, and this is Alex, one of my board game crew. Say hi to the YouTubers, Alex.
Hello YouTubers.
Now, Alex and I play board games a lot, and in addition to both being aficionados of board games, we are both aficionados of fine beers. Show them the beer. What do we got here?
Some Space Station Middle Finger from Three Floyds in Indiana.
Yes, indeed. So today, we're going to be drinking some sci-fi and fantasy themed beers, pairing them with some great board games, and then telling you what we think. So now, to start this off, let me just say that the Board Game Captain does not encourage or endorse underage drinking, and if you are going to drink, drink responsibly. Make sure that you have a ride or you're close to home. In this case, I'm at home and he lives one house away, so that's really responsible. So let's start off with a pour. Why don't you give us do the honors? Give us a pour on this.
Sounds good.
On this Space Station Middle Finger.
Space Station Middle Finger.
From Three Floyds. So what kind of beer is this?
This is an American Pale Ale. Three Floyds likes to brag that they are not normal. So we'll see how abnormal this is. I have not had this one before. So
nor have I. This is a new one on me too. I'm normally into kind of darker beers. I'm a big fan of Belgian ales, as well as some Hefeweizens and stouts and porters. But I'm always willing to give anything a try. So let's take a look now. This is quite a lovely color. It looks like it's unfiltered, which is always a plus on the taste. So we're going to take a taste and give you our first impressions. L'chaim.
Salmonja.
Oh,
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. So now, some definite floral notes there.
Yeah, and it's not as hoppy as like an India Pale Ale. So it's definitely more.
It's still there is a strong hoppy flavor. I would say it's more towards the sides of the hops than the malt.
Oh, absolutely.
And it is a bit bitter. And while I'm not a fan of India Pale Ales at all, I actually dislike them with a passion. This isn't bad.
Right.
I mean, I'll see if I still agree at the end of the beer. But so what game are we going to pair with this beer?
The game we're playing with this is going to be Grim Slingers.
Now if you are a fan of my channel, you've probably already seen that I reviewed Grim Slingers. If you haven't, go back and watch the Grim Slingers review. But for now, Alex and I are going to go and play Grim Slingers and drink this beer, and then we're going to come back and tell you a little bit about if Grim Slingers is a good game to play over a beer or two, and give you our opinion. And we're going to rate Space Station Middle Finger by Three Floyds. Okay, so we just played a game of Grim Slingers over some Space Station Middle Finger from Three Floyds. So let's start with the beer, I think. What did you think of Space Station Middle Finger?
I think as far as Pale Ale goes, it's about the best you're going to be able to do. Not like you, I'm not a big IPA fan, but this had just enough sweetness to balance out the hops, and it was actually it was nice to drink. It wasn't harsh.
I did find that the bitterness for me increased a little bit as I went on drinking it. It was still good though. If you know what, if you're really not a fan of hops, it might be a bit hoppy for you. But if you're one of those people that loves hops, and you know what, India Pale Ales are quite popular, you might love this beer. You might, I mean, because it might be a bit mild on the hops for you if you're a super India Pale Ale person. For me, it was a little hoppy. I mean, I didn't mind drinking it. I totally finished mine. I thought it was tasty, but perhaps a little bit on the hoppy side for me. And now, if you have watched my review of Grim Slingers, then you know how much I love this game. We just played a quick advanced duel where we were using the signature spells and the item deck. It was Alex's first time playing Grim Slingers, though I've played a few duels myself. Alex, what did you think on Grim Slingers?
Pretty good. It was quick to set up, kept the action going. You get to put in some pseudo blackjack, so that was kind of fun. And yeah, it's a really enjoyable game. I think the whole thing took us less than 20 minutes. So
and it was actually
it keeps your beer cold if you're trying to get it done during the.
I was going to say it was a perfect one beer
game. Yeah.
We drank a beer, we played a game, they were at the same time. If we were to just have brought that one game to play, we would have a second beer and play another game. I
Right.
thought.
Sure,
Right?
absolutely.
And if it wasn't for the fact that we'd be playing other games, I would totally play a second game of Grimslingers.
Absolutely, yeah.
I love Grimslingers.
Quick to learn, quick to set up, quick to do, and
Good, quick, one beer game.
sure.
All right. So, Alex, why don't you let me know what you have chosen for us to drink next?
Our next beverage is going to be Maudite.
Maudite, yes. This is from one of my favorite breweries. I believe it's pronounced Unibro or Unibroke. I'm not quite sure. But it's from up in Quebec. I'm just going to show you guys the label. Now, Maudite is French. I looked this up for accursed. And if you look there on the label, there's a really cool picture of some people in a flying rowboat. And there's a picture of a little gargoyle or demon dude down there. So this is quite a fantasy-themed beer, I think. Let's get the other one out here. So let's take a look. Let's pop open Maudite and see how it looks in the glass. Now I'm a big fan of this brewery, so I already know I'm probably going to like this beer quite a bit.
A little foil wrapped bottle. Fancy, very fancy.
Oh, very fancy. Ooh, nice pour.
I believe it's bottle conditioned too, so I think it's going to have.
Is this a living beer?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Oh, so that means for those of you who don't know, that means that the yeast is actually live when they bottle it. So you get more flavor because it is obviously unfiltered. You also usually have a higher alcohol content. Now, in the case of this is an 8% alcohol by volume.
That counts.
It's pretty high. It's not super high. I've seen higher, but
sure.
And if you look at that, I mean, that is a nice, deep, dark red brown, beautiful color. Beautiful color.
Glass of caramel.
Oh, it smells good too. Yeah. So let's give it a first shot, and
Absolutely.
We'll give our opinions. L'chaim.
Sláinte.
Oh, that's good.
It is good. Wow.
Now, definitely some caramel notes. It's funny that you mentioned that. Also, a little bit of fruit.
Doesn't taste like 8%.
No, it doesn't. It's very smooth.
It doesn't. Yeah.
It's got a little bit of a sweetness to it, though.
Sure.
Like almost like it really. I'm trying to place it. It's like a fruity kind of flavor, along with the caramel.
Let's see. I might have to take another sip.
What do you think? I mean,
It's got coriander and it's got spices in it.
It definitely.
Yeah.
But are you getting that like hint of fruitiness?
Sure.
There?
There's some citrus notes.
Citrus. That's
Yeah.
what, see. I was knowing fruit, but I for the life of me, I couldn't tell what kind of fruit. So you thank you.
I'm going with citrus.
All right. So a little. You think maybe orange?
Maybe.
That's a good one though. I like that. So, what game are we going to pair with this?
Maudite is going to be paired with Onitama.
Onitama. Yes. Now, I have already reviewed Onitama, so if you haven't checked out my full review of Onitama, feel free to go back and check it out. But this is a fun little abstract strategy game, so we're going to head over and we're going to play a game of Onitama while we drink our Maudite, and then we're going to come back and we're going to tell you how Onitama ranks as a one beer game, and we're going to give you our rating on Maudite. Oh, but first we didn't give our number of star rating for Space Station Littlefinger.
Space Station Littlefinger. I'd give it a 6.5.
I'd be around. I'm pretty close. I'd be a 6.
6?
Flat out 6.
Wow, I thought it'd be higher than you.
Well, it was, like I said, it was a bit bitter, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't. I know that doesn't sound like a good review.
A 6 is not terrible.
No. It was good. It wasn't great. I liked it, but again, that's for me, and I'm not a big hops fan. Like other people who are big hops fans might totally disagree with me. Which, by the way, feel free to comment down below if you've had any of these beers and you totally disagree with me. Well, we're gonna head over to the table and we're gonna play a game of Onitama over a glass of Maudite.
By the way, I hate when people comment down below.
All right, welcome back. We just finished off our 2 bottles of Maudite. I love the picture on this label here. And during our drinking of Maudite, we were able to play not 1 but 2 games of Onitama. 2. Now, this game plays really fast. It's definitely a one beer game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We played the first game. I won it, so I said to Alex, "Do you want to play a second one? I think we have time. We're only about halfway through our beers." He said yes, and then he beat me on the second game. Now, you never played Onitama before today, right?
Never played it before. Yeah.
But very quick to pick up, right?
Yeah, good game. It's like chess without all the emotional investment. I thought that picked it up really quick, and we were able to, like I said, power through 2 games and 12-ounce beer. So
And
Definitely fits the bill.
I like that without the emotional investment, because you don't feel that soul crushing defeat when you get beaten like in chess.
Right.
It's so much faster. It's so much quicker. But and also it's really interesting because of how every piece has access to the same variety of moves, just maybe not all at once, and those moves change from game to game.
Right.
Which is a neat mechanic.
Right. It's like a small game of chess where the rules change every time you play. So
yeah, and there's no randomness in the game itself, but there's randomness in the setup. You have a randomness for what moves you're going to get, but then when you're playing, I mean, it is a complete information game. You know what your opponent can do. You're giving him his next move.
Right.
So now back to Mordite though. Wow, that's a great beer.
Josh liked it a lot.
Oh my God.
I enjoyed it too. He's still enjoying
He's giving it a kiss over here.
He was.
A low kiss, because this is a phenomenal beer. And it deserved
it's
it. It was a good beer. And it deserved a kiss. So,
I don't want to interrupt.
I may need to be alone with the beer.
Yeah, I understand. I watched you drink it. You should have seen when he was drinking it.
Now, I was going to say, this is just a very flavorful beer. It's got deep malt notes.
Yeah. Sweet.
Oh, the sweet, the caramel, and that finishes all the way through. It even has a really nice finish. A lot of beers, that last sip can be disappointing, but this had a fantastic finish.
Sure, good all the way to the end. It doesn't as it warms up a little bit while you're drinking, even though it was a quick game. It did took 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It doesn't bother. I know in the last beer, Josh didn't like the pale ale, which tend to get more bitter the warmer they get. This doesn't happen to it at all. It'd actually probably be okay to serve this at slightly warmer temperature.
English style, serve it tepid.
There you go.
Room temperature.
I wouldn't go room temperature, but certainly not 30-60.
That is how they do it in the UK. They do the room temperature.
They do a lot of things wrong there.
I have viewers in the UK.
Wrong side of the road. Sorry, just clearly.
I don't think you drive on the wrong side of the road if you are one of my viewers from the UK.
I've done it. It's terrible.
Moving on, I would give this one probably somewhere between an 8 and a 9, so maybe an 8.5 for me. This is a phenomenal beer. I really like it.
Yeah, I'll see your 8. It's a good beer. That's really.
Oh, so you're in total agreement with me?
I am. This is you really can't go wrong. I mean, it's just a good beer. It's a really good beer it's not even pretending to be something it's not. It's just a really good beer.
Fair enough.
They made it well, and they're consistent, and you get drunk off it. So
no, it had a high amount of alcohol, but it went down very smoothly.
Sure. You don't taste it.
And I mean, if you're not a lightweight, and we're not lightweights, this is not going to get you.
I've been accused of a lot of things,
but not being a lightweight.
Well, that is not one of them.
All right, so what's our next beer for today?
Next on the docket is Golden Drac.
Now,
nice and close for you.
I feel I need to throw a disclaimer out here. This is one of my favorite beers in the world, themed or otherwise. Now, Golden Drac is Flemish for Golden Dragon. If you're unfamiliar with Flemish, it's a language spoken in Belgium along with French. This is a Belgian-style ale. This is one of those, I believe it to be a living ale. Mm-hmm. It's at the very least unfiltered. It's got to be living though, because this baby is 10.5% alcohol by volume. Yes. So we may be feeling, we're not quite feeling any effects yet. Maybe mild effects from the first two beers, but we're probably going to be feeling a little bit after this one. At 10.5.
That's got a crazy little bottle.
I've often gotten the bigger bottle of this, but I saw they had the 4-pack in the store, and I figured it'd be easier if we each had our own. So let's pop it open and show the pour.
Sure.
Oh, why, thank you, sir.
Oh, you're welcome.
Look at that. That has just throw my pinky up there. On pouring. That has, whoops.
Your English viewers can't see. Oh, there you go. Hey-yo. That's because of your pinky.
Whoops. Why don't you show yours while I'm fixing mine?
Looks pretty good.
Let's get it close to the camera and show what it looks like. So now, that is a very dark red, brown Belgian ale. Wonderful color. You do usually get a really big head off Golden Drac, and that is because of the fact that the yeast were alive in there when they bottled it, and you do get a lot of continued fermentation.
That's good stuff.
Extra gases.
That is good stuff.
It is one of my favorite beers. I've always been a big fan of it since the first time I tried it.
Sure.
And generally speaking, I know you have noticed that when I buy a bunch of beers, this is one of those that repeatedly shows up in my group of beers.
Right.
It's one of my all-time favorites, and that's regardless of the fact that it has a cool dragon name and therefore nice theme and works well for our reviews that we're doing today. Just aside from that, just based on flavor from start to finish, I already know I'm going to rate this beer incredibly highly because I love.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Josh,
I'm going to be giving it a huge rating.
Yeah, it's going to be very well.
So now, with our Golden Draak, do tell, what shall we be playing?
Well, with your classic beer comes your classic game.
Now this is one we have played many times.
Swords and Strongholds.
Because this is a favorite of both of ours. We both played this against each other many times.
Many times.
So
I don't think I've won yet, but we've played it many times.
I'm sure you beat me at some
maybe
point.
once.
All right. Well, I was gonna say we've played this enough times that I'm sure you've beaten me at least once or twice. It had to have happened. But all right. So we're gonna take now that my head has died down here a little bit. Let's take a sip and give our first impressions. Now that is,
it's good. It's good. It's definitely higher alcohol than the last one. You can taste it.
Oh yeah,
you can definitely taste the alcohol in this beer. But it's
very
not bad. It's not bad.
And this is one that is quite on the sweet side.
Yeah. Well, it's very malty. Very
malty. And again, you get that lovely higher malt content. You always get that caramely kind of flavor, and I love that.
Yeah.
So again, it got some caramel notes in here, similar, but even more so. I would say there's more caramel notes to this than there was to Mordite. And it's also sweeter than Mordite. It does have a little bit of the fruitiness, but that's more mild. That's more in the background. Whereas Mordite really tasted kind of orangey. Like there's a little bit of fruitiness, but this is more like, this is like candy for beer drinkers, in my opinion.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is like a Belgian triple. But it's similar. It's got a lot of flavor in it. They probably use an incredible amount of ingredients when they make it.
I believe they have an alternate version that's triple.
The triple one there, it makes sense.
A different one.
It tastes like there's a lot of flavor. You're not gonna knock back 15 or 20 of these while you're sitting around a fire or something. Something to sip and enjoy.
Yes,
while playing a game, perhaps.
Perhaps while playing a game. Perhaps while playing Swords and Strongholds. The Mouse Guard board game.
There you go.
Like we're about to do. Spoiler alert.
It's weird how we set that up. Crazy, huh?
So let's go to the table, and we'll be back in a few minutes to tell you what we think Mouse Guard is related to a one beer board game, and we're going to rate Golden Draak. Okay, welcome back, and we just finished our Golden Draak, and we played 2 games, not one but 2 games of Swords and Strongholds, along with our Golden Draak. So let me start with the beer, because I already kind of spoiled that I absolutely adore this beer. This is one of my 2 favorite beers on planet Earth.
It really is.
And I'm giving it a straight 10 out of 10. Solid, top-notch score, 10 out of 10 stars for this beer.
Yeah,
it's
very, very good. It's not my favorite beer ever, so I'm not going to give it 10 out of 10, but 9 out of 10 is certainly deserved. It's got everything you'd ever want in a good beer.
That's still a really high rating.
It's really good. It's dark, it's malty, it's sweet, it's got a lot of alcohol in it, but it doesn't kill you. It's good beer. It's a really good beer.
It's just, you know what? And this is another one of those that even the last drink is as good as the first. It's just as delicious.
They knew what they were doing. They're live bottling.
Oh, those Belgians. I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of those Belgian beers, and this is up there with Chimay Grand Reserve as one of my 2 favorites. 2 favorites on Earth.
It's earned its place.
Quick note, though, we did have to take a short break to down a bit of water because when drinking a lot of high alcohol content beer, it is very important to stay hydrated. So, that being said, we were playing Swords and Strongholds, and we played 2 games of it.
We did. We squeezed in 2.
And I lost the first.
He did.
But I won the second. I was trying some different strategies. It didn't work out so well the first time. The second time it paid off. What do you think of Swords and Strongholds as a 1 beer game?
I think it's perfectly serviceable as a 1 beer game. You could stretch it out and drink more than one for sure if you're taking your time, building a lot of strategy into it. I think you were a little more aggressive than you usually would be, but I'm not sure if that was because of the filming, because of the beer.
No, I was just deciding I want to try different strategy.
Tried something different.
I usually play very defensively in this game, but I wanted to try playing offensively.
If
see
you
if that worked out.
If you really kind of go after it, it's actually a very quick-paced, it's an entertaining game. It moves along if you want it to, and you can make it do that. And it's definitely a one beer game.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say you did wind up responding more aggressively when I went on the attack right away,
which may or may not have. Well, 50-50. We'll have to. More experimentation and drinking will have to happen to find out which is the best way to do this.
Well, if lots of you watch this video and like it and such, we may have to do a sequel video with other beers. So that is possibly in the cards for the future. So there you go. Swords and Strongholds is a great game to play over a beer or two, depending on how quickly you play. Right. But definitely played very, very well.
Absolutely.
So what are we drinking next?
Next this is one of your beers. This is Hobgoblin.
Oh, yes.
This is a dark English ale from Witchwood Brewers.
Now, I've never had this one before.
Nor have I.
I saw this over at the liquor/beer store, and it went with my theme. After all, it's about a hobgoblin. Oh, thank you. After all, it's got a hobgoblin on the cover, and it's named Hobgoblin. I said cover. On the label,
cover.
Yes, the beer is having no effect on me whatsoever. None whatsoever. So, shall we see the pour?
Let's do so. And if more astute viewers at home will notice that we're trying to go from light to dark in our beer selections, and this is getting up there. Technically, is an ale. It's not quite
a dark ale,
and not quite a pint.
Very brown.
Not quite a pint. Not even 12 ounces, really.
If you look at the color, it's quite a brown beer, a dark brown ale. A little bit of a red note to it.
Ooh.
Oh, that has an interesting aroma.
Lighter than I would have thought.
The smell, a bit floral.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be darker than that, absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how it tastes.
Let's give it a taste. L'chaim. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Now, that is not as malty as I thought it was.
No, not at all. Actually, I think it's darker than it tastes.
It's a little nutty.
It is. It is.
And you do definitely have some of the hop in there. A little bit. Not a lot. Little hop.
It looks darker than it tastes, though, I'll tell you that.
It's rather crisp.
Yeah. That's actually really good.
I'm going to have to
we'll see how it is at the end.
Yeah, we'll have to keep going. And what game are we playing now?
Next is Dreamwell. This is a new game that Josh purchased not too long ago, right?
Indeed. I purchased this particular game at Gen Con, straight from the Action Phase Games people. They are awesome. I love them. So I saw that they had a new game, and I wanted to pick it up. Now, I have not actually played this game before. We literally peeled the plastic wrapping off right before doing this portion of the video.
Correct.
So keep an eye out. The full review for this game is going to be coming soon. I have to get it
on your channel.
On my channel, of course, here at YouTube. The board game Kaptain, Kaptain spelled with a K. But first, I have to get a few games in to get my full opinion of it, and of course, I have to play some with Lynn because Lynn has to give her second opinion as normal.
Right.
But let's play our first game of this ever. Let's head over to the table, and we'll also drink our Hobgoblin. There it is again. And look at that nice little artwork on the cover. The Hobgoblin there holding an axe. He's pretty interesting there. He's also got a quiver with arrows in it. Is that a bow then that he has?
I hope so.
Down by, well, he's got to have a bow for the arrows, right? Is that a bow down there? Possibly, maybe. He's definitely got some arrows. He's got an axe. I think he has a bow there, right there. Very cool looking thematic beer out of England. It is a dark English ale imported out of the UK. So we're going to head to the table. We're going to play a game of Dreamwell. and we're going to drink our Hobgoblin, and we'll be back in a little bit to tell you what we think. Okay, we're back after playing some Dreamwell and drinking our Hobgoblin. So, let's see. Now,
pretty good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed both Dreamwell and Hobgoblin. I thought they went well together, very well.
They did that they did.
Yeah, well, this was lighter and crisper than I thought it was going to be for like a dark brown ale.
Yeah, I was surprised at how smooth it was and how light it was to drink. It's the label got me a little worried. I thought it was going to be a little hokey, a little too mass market, kind of, just.
But it really wasn't
touristy, but it really wasn't. It was actually a really good beer.
Really good beer. And it wasn't as towards the malt side as I was expecting at all.
No.
This was a delicious beer all around. I would definitely have some more of this one.
Sure.
I'm going to give this one a solid 8.
Yeah, I'll give it 7.
7?
7. Yeah.
That was a good score.
If I was going to be picking it up just by the way it looked, I'd go for like a 4.5 or a 5. But it drinks like a 7. It's a pretty good beer.
Very smooth. And also, I mean,
the bottles are a little small. It's not even quite 12 ounces, but
what is it? It's 11.2 fluid ounces. Right. To be fair, you're right. It is not a full 12 ounces.
Right.
But this was a tasty beer from the first drink all the way to the last.
Yeah.
I
can't complain at all.
And then Dreamwell. Now, this is the first time I've tried Dreamwell, and please check back because a review of this will be forthcoming once I've played a couple more games of it. But my first impressions on Dreamwell is this is a great game. Spoiler alert, I'm probably going to give this a pretty positive review after I've played it a couple of times and come back. We jumped right into the advanced version, and it played just fine. I think that,
no problem. It's got a handy little cheat sheet that actually is you're going to need because there's a lot of the cards have so many different effects that you need to flip back and forth. I think.
But I would definitely say this is a one beer game.
It is a one beer. It says 45 minutes on the box, and I don't even think it took us that long.
Probably more like half an hour.
Yeah, probably about 30 minutes or so. It was.
Go on.
The artwork is actually really interesting. At first, I thought it was a game marketed more towards women. I had said so when we first opened it, but I don't think that's really true. I think it's just trying to be quirky and a little lighthearted. And
I thought it had
fun. It's fun. It's a fun concept.
I thought the artwork had a very. Let me show you some of the cover picture here. I kind of was very reminded of Tim Burton kind of Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know about you. A little bit crossed with anime.
Sure, yeah.
I liked
Japanese Tim Burton-san.
Tim Burton mixed with Japanese animation, so there you go. I have a very strong suspicion that I'll be giving this quite a positive review when I get around to reviewing it. But of course, I like to play games a few times before I give them a full review, so I can see how they fare in different sorts of situations with different numbers of players and when different circumstances come up while playing. But that being said, that even for our first time, this played in under the amount of time it took to drink one beer.
Absolutely.
It was definitely.
It's probably of all the games we've reviewed today, we've had 2 games we had to play twice within a beer.
Yeah, those went good.
Which either means we play fast or drink too slow. I'm not quite sure which one.
A little both?
We'll say we play too fast. I don't think
I was going to say a little both.
Maybe a little both. I don't think we're slow drinkers. I'm not slow drinker. Dreamwell was a one beer game for sure. It was for 2 people, 1 beer, you're good to go.
This is definitely a good game that I would play in a pub over a beer, for sure.
And it's not. It's the biggest game of the 3 we played, I think. The four we played. It took up the most space, but even then, it took up a very small amount of table space. You could easily do this on a.
Yeah, well, this is not a huge game. No.
None of these were.
It had a little square in the middle of the table, but yeah, we used a small table that was equivalent. The little table we were using.
Coffee table, yeah,
it's a coffee table, so it's definitely equivalent to like a pub table.
Sure.
So if you were in a pub drinking a beer and playing any of these games would fit in the pub. If you took it to the pub to have a beer and play a game, and that'd be great. And that's the I think a big part of the idea behind this is.
And I tell you what, if you play this game in a bar, so people are going to come up to you and ask you what you're doing because the art's pretty cool and it looks neat and there's all kinds of wacky shit going on. So
it definitely drew my attention. That's why I bought it.
So this would be a fun in public kind of game.
So my number one rated beer tonight, and all of these beers were good. I didn't negatively rate any of these beers. My number one definitely had to be Golden Drak.
Yeah.
Yours too?
Yeah, I think I gave it an 8, right? I mean, you're not going to get...
I think you gave it a 9. You gave it a 9.
You gave it a 9.
You gave it a 9. I gave it a perfect 10.
Right.
But I don't want to seem like I'm too much of a fanboy over that particular brewery.
He is.
The alcohol is not affecting me at all. I don't want to seem like I'm too much of a brewery. I don't want to seem like I'm a fanboy too much over that one particular brewery, but I have to say that Golden Drak really is. It stands up over time as one of my favorite beers ever. You know, I did say Golden Drak has a whiskey barrel aged version.
No shit.
I'm gonna have to get us some for next time.
Try some of that.
Well, if this,
you definitely not gonna be able to pronounce brewery.
It's possible, but you know what? If this video does well, we will review other great thematic beers, and perhaps that beer will make an appearance in the next video.
Right. Ultra cut.
The sequel. That's right. Beer reviews part 2, The Revenge. So that being said,
is that a Jaws reference?
A little bit. It's an everything reference. I mean, how many sequels are The Revenge? Or, you know. Anyway. So, if you've tried any of these beers and you thoroughly disagreed with me, comment down below. Let me know. If there are any other great thematic fantasy or sci-fi beers that you think would be awesome for a sequel video to this, comment down below. If you'd like to suggest any great ideas for future geek culture videos or other games to review or play on my channel, please comment down below and suggest them. And as always, if you would like to see more videos like this, please like, share, and subscribe, because that is what keeps me going. Anything to add?
Word.
Until next time, game on.